let's find this sheet of paper. It's got rationalizing to find limits. It's on the back of this sheet, so if that's where you're looking for it. And we're gonna start down in the bottom left hand, or your other left, bottom right hand corner. And whoever, made this worksheet decided to put this easiest one down on the bottom right. What an idiot. All right, these are gonna take a little bit of space. I'd get some extra paper somewhere. I'm gonna work on just a sheet of copy paper. So I got the limit as x approaches 16 of this rational function. And if I were to plug in 16, that would be a problem. I'd have 0 in the denominator. And I don't want to say every time, but whenever this is a problem and you see a radical in the function, you need to try to quote unquote rationalize. You need to multiply by the conjugate, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna multiply by 1. 1's gonna look kind of fancy, but we're gonna multiply by the conjugate with that radical. So I'm gonna multiply by square root of x plus 4 over square root of x plus 4. So, normally we look at the denominator, say, oh, the denominator can't, have that radical in it. Let's multiply by that. But in this case, same kind of thought process, except we see this radical up here. Good things are going to happen. So I'd have this. So I'm supposed to write this limit every time. I'm probably going to forget to. Don't judge me. And I would have square root of x minus 4 times square root of x plus 4 over the stuff on the bottom, x minus 16 and square root of x plus 4. Okay, so all I did was multiply that stuff times that stuff times that stuff. And I'm gonna end up foiling this stuff, at least on top, and I'll show you why here in a second. You could foil the bottom and all kind of stuff, but I'm gonna give you a pro tip there. Don't foil out the bottom. So we still have this limit as x approaches 16. And up top, I'm gonna have square root of x times square root of x. That's just x. Square root of x times positive, that's positive 4 square root of x. That would be negative 4 square root of x, and then that would be negative 16. And on the bottom, let's just leave the bottom. Helpful hint. Okay. And when I look at the top, I've got some zapping going on. Pew, pew, 4 square root of x and negative 4 square root of x. Pew, pew. So up top, I've got x minus 16. And on the bottom, I've got x minus 16 and square root of x plus 4. So we've got a factor, x minus 16 over x minus 16. That can cancel with that, or zap that. That would be limit as x approaches 16 of 1 over square root of x plus 4. And now I can plug in the 16. So when I plug it in, that limit stuff goes away. I got square root of 16 plus 4. That's 1 over 4 plus 4. That is 1 over 8. Next one I want to look at is this bottom left one. Okay, the bottom left one. So find that one, and I'm going to find my sheet of paper that has it on there. There it is. Okay. So we got the limit as x approaches 0. That's a problem, because when I plug that in, that would give me 0 in the denominator. You can't divide by 0. So I have some radicals up top. Let's try to multiply by the conjugate up top. So let's multiply. We're multiplying by 1. We're changing the way this looks, not its value. So x plus 5 plus square root of 5 over square root of x plus 5 plus square root of 5. And I'm going to write this down here. So I'd have limit as x approaches 0. So up top, I would have square root of x plus 5 minus square root of 5 times square root of x plus 5 plus square root of 5 all over x times square root of x plus 5 plus square root of 5. Okay. And we're going to FOIL up top. So slide that up a little bit. We got limit as x approaches 0. So this times this would be just x plus 5, I believe. So I'm going to put that in parentheses so we can just kind of see what that is. And then this times this first outer, so that would be plus square root of 5 times square root of x plus 5. Okay, inner would be this, minus square root of 5 times square root of x plus 5. I'm running out of space. And the last one, first outer, inner, last, that would be minus square root of 5 times square root of 5, square root of 25, which is just 5. Some of you will just write 5. That would be normal. And on the bottom, let's leave the bottom as it is. Okay. And hopefully, judging by the first one, we can see that these middle terms will cancel out. So I got a positive square root of 5 times square root of x plus 5, and then a negative square root of 5 times square root of x plus 5. So, pew, pew. And that leaves me with limit as x approaches 0 of x plus 5 minus 5 over x times all that crap. X plus 5 plus square root of 5. Okay. And up top, I've got, x. And on the bottom, we still have all this junk. Okay. Pew, pew. And I'm left with limit as x approaches 0 of 1 over x plus 5 plus square root of 5. And hopefully, I plug in 0 right there. That'd be 5. That's going to work. It won't be 0 in the denominator. So let's plug in 0. So that's 1 over, what's that? 0 plus 5 plus square root of 5. That is 1 over square root of 5 plus square root of 5 is 2 square root of 5. I think it's frowned upon for us to have this radical in our denominator. Let's get fancy. Square root of 5 times square root of 5. So that would be what? Square root of 5 over 10 maybe? Yeah. All right, last one. And ironically, it is the first one. So find that first one. And I'm going to move this one out of the way. And move this one down here. So limit as x approaches the square root of x plus 2 minus 1 over x plus 1. Once again, the problem is if we were to plug in that negative 1, that'd be 0 down there. That's not good for us. So let's multiply by the conjugate. So I've got square root of x plus 2 plus 1, square root of x plus 2 plus 1. And I'm going to slide down again. So that would be limit as x approaches negative 1. And up top, gross. I'm going to write it out just so we can see it. Okay, so just multiplying right here. I'm just showing that we're going to multiply. I think visually sometimes we see it that we're foiling when we see the parentheses like that. So just kind of rewrote it, and I'll have limit as x approaches negative 1 And now we're going to FOIL. So first, that would be just x plus 2. And then this would be plus 1 times that would be that. So that's what I just did. And then this minus x plus 2. And then that would be minus 1 all over all this stuff. Once again, we're just going to leave this right here. Hopefully something will cancel for us. So I've got that. Pew, pew. And that would be limit as x approaches -1. And up top, I'm left with x plus 2 minus 1 over x plus 1. And up top, that looks like it's going to help us out. So I've got limit as x approaches -1, 2 minus 1, 1. So I got x plus 1 up top. Conveniently got x plus 1 on the bottom. And all this crap. So, pew, pew. And then I'm left with limit as x approaches -1 of 1 over square root of x plus 2 plus 1. And let's plug in that -1 now. I think it's going to work out nicely for us. 1 over -1 plus 2 plus 1. That's 1 over 1 plus 1 is 2. Limit is 1/2.